wa Bara Afrika kujadili mikakati ya kukabiliana na dawa za kulevya katika bara la Afrika. Kongamano hilo linahudhuriwa na marais wa zamani wa baadhi ya mataifa ya Afrika miongoni mwa viongozi na washirika wengine wakuu. Hebu tumsikize.
Our former Chief Justice, when the MC spoke about the work of former presidents, I would see very energetic former leaders, including the former Chief Justice. And I told myself there is still great life ahead of me. There is still work after work. Your Excellency Odrej Simek, Deputy Head of European Union Delegation in Kenya, Dr. Mark Shaw, Director of Global Initiative Against Transnational Organized Crime, Ashita Mittal, who is the UNODC representative present, Chairman and the CEO of the National Authority for the Campaign Against Drugs and Alcohol, Kenya. Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, good morning. Good morning once again. I am here to particularly read a speech on behalf of His Excellency President William Samoei Ruto, who was unable to be here, and therefore I'll make these remarks on his behalf. And before I do so, I just want to say I'm greatly honored to be here as the Cabinet Secretary responsible for matters related to combating drugs, alcohol abuse, transnational crime. I'd like to say that this is a very timely report and very important meeting, and I look forward to the recommendations. At Kenya, I must say, I must admit that in the recent past, the last few years, there has been an upsurge of trafficking of drugs across this country, but also, as has been said, leads to also a local consumption. We are currently engaged in various operations across the country, and we've realized that particularly from the northern part of this country, we've realized that the biggest threat in terms of drug and drug abuse is the fact that these drugs are moving from countries on the northern part of the country, across Kenya, as has been said, through Tanzania, all the way to the southern part of Africa and across the Indian Ocean. I must say that working it from a regional perspective is extremely important for us, because dealing it as a nation alone is not enough. Interestingly, as has been also captured, and I'm sure this is an integral part of the report, is that transnational organized crime does not confine itself to only one crime. It is, you have drug trafficking, human trafficking is together with drug trafficking. You have crimes of terrorism funded by drugs, and as we've realized in the northern part of this country, you have corruption that is fueling the movement. You have also the illicit, you also have illegal firearms, and proliferation of small arms and illicit weapons are also accompanying the same, because even the drugs that are being trafficked through this country from the northern part towards the south is accompanied by illegal firearm holders who basically, apart from providing protection to the traffickers, are also selling guns and ammunition. So this is really a whole conglomerate of criminal activities, and it's extremely important for me, as the person currently charged with that responsibility, to take advantage of the wonderful work that has been done by this commission to see how best we can work together to deal with these issues. Those are my remarks. Therefore, allow me to read the speech of His Excellency the President. And before I do so, also let me say, former presidents, you are truly welcome to this country, plus the commissioners present here, and all the visitors who have come to our country, you are truly welcome. This is home, this is Kenya. We love visitors, and we value your wealth of knowledge. And for the European Union and the other teams that are supporting this very important report, thank you very much. Continue partnering with the Commission, but also with us nationally to deal with these issues, including with the UN and UNODC office, whom we are working very close together. And seeing former presidents still working very hard at their very young age, as I said earlier, I am truly inspired that there is greater life ahead, a more sober, less noisy and volatile outside politics, where your knowledge is just being evaluated not based on your political leaning. And as I say so, I also truly admire our former Chief Justice here, who is my senior and my friend, and I'm very happy for the work he's doing and the life he's leading, even after a lot of great work he did as one of the most consequential Chief Justice that we've ever had as a country. Now, this is the speech of the President. It's my honor to welcome you all to Kenya and to particularly recognize my dear brother, His Excellency Galema Motlanthe, former President of the Republic of South Africa, for his exemplary leadership as chair of the East and Southern Africa Commission on Drugs, and his colleagues, the former presidents. Today marks a significant milestone in our ongoing fight against the hard drugs. The newly established East and Southern Africa Commission on Drugs reflects on the regional commitment to tackling the growing threat of illicit drug trade and use through informed dialogue, public awareness, and evidence-based policy solutions. We fully recognize that the drug problem is not confined within national borders. It's a transnational challenge that demands a coordinated regional and global response. Any meaningful efforts to address it must therefore transcend individual jurisdiction and complement our national and local initiatives through collective action and shared responsibility. Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, the report we are launching today is the culmination of an extensive and inclusive dialogue, bringing together key agents of change, government leaders, law enforcement, public health experts, civil society, academia, and individuals with lived experience. It provides compelling evidence that the availability of drugs in our region has increased, accompanied by a concerning rise in the potency of these substances. This underscores the urgency of coordinated, multi-sectoral responses to an evolving and complex challenge. Notably, there has been a growth in online drug markets with the increased use of social media platforms as marketplaces. Drug markets have also grown and diversified in face of movement restrictions related to the COVID-19 pandemic. The region's drug markets are becoming increasingly diverse, expansive, and integrated into sophisticated international networks. Worryingly, substances such as heroin, cocaine, and synthetic drugs are now widely accessible across Eastern and Southern Africa, with use reported not only in major urban centers, but also in secondary towns and rural settlements. International drug supply chains are also no longer merely transiting through our region. They are now directly servicing domestic markets, which continue to witness a steady rise in the number of users. This evolving dynamic calls for urgent, coordinated, and strategic responses at both national and regional levels. Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, in Kenya, we recognize that the drug problem is a pressing and multifaceted challenge, one that continues to threaten the well-being of our youth, strain our public health systems, and demand extensive law enforcement resources. The rising prevalence of substances such as cannabis, heroin, cocaine, and synthetic drugs is deeply concerning, particularly as we see growing rates of use among young people across both urban and rural communities. Kenya